first did it, it said we're having trouble starting your video. So I had to do it twice. Thank goodness that it worked this time. I'm here for a cosmic conversation with Susan Lynn. I'm so excited to have this conversation. Welcome everyone. Hi. Hi Susan, I see you there. Let's see. Whew, I'm so happy this is working. Hey, Patty. Hey, everyone. Uh-oh. Let me see. Do I have to do it again? This is the last day. Mercury is at 29 Sagittarius. So in the sign of its detriment, and it rules conversation, it rules things like technology. I pressed it twice to accept. Let's see. Let me try again. Hold on, Susan. I'm trying to bring you up and I'm having technical difficulties. Typical Mercury, the trickster. Shoot. Okay, let me try something else. It says you're unable to join. Okay, Susan, can you go out of Instagram and come back in and try it again? Something's something's going on. So let's try that again. See if that works. Because I'm not able to accept. Oh, there you are.
It did it. It worked. I know. Don't you love it when you overcome technology? How are you? Thank you so much.
I'm doing all right, Susan. How are you?
I'm great. This is a first for me, so thank you.
Yes, welcome. I'm so excited to talk to you. And first, let's start with you introducing yourself for anyone who is new to you and how they can find you. I mean, anyone can click the carrot and just follow Susan or me if you're new to me under at the top without leaving the video. So go ahead, Susan.
Okay, I don't even see a carrot. I'm in a whole new world, you guys. Okay, well, thank you so much, Celeste, for having me on your Instagram. I really am a big fan of yours, so thank you. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a spirit navigator. I'm a psychic medium. I have a show on YouTube, but I'm also on Instagram, so you can find me here too. I'm on Threads. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on all the things, right? I do my YouTube channel. I do some political predictions. I'm kind of known for talking to my spirit guides. They kind of blend with my own personality. And, surprisingly, I've not been, committed. No, but I've not gotten a diagnosis yet. So that's always good, right? But so that's kind of the thing. I do political predictions, but I also have a whole series called Wisdom on Wednesday, which is the spirit guides just channeling stuff that really is helpful. Like I often say, we get down here with no instruction manual. We don't even have an IKEA instruction manual. We don't even have like hieroglyphics, we have nothing. So we're kind of on our own, right? To kind of use astrology to poke around and figure out, what makes me tick? What is specifically going on with Susan? And I have had so many readings, and I've had great readings with Celeste. She has really helped me uncover more things about myself that have helped me, right? Like this is your instruction manual, you guys. Astrology is part of your instruction manual. So I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for your kind words, Susan. And I love your work as well. And you gave me such great information when you channeled from your spirit guides things that the messages they had for me, and they were so on point. So I am so thankful to have you here. And you know what? Everything happens for a reason. Timing is perfect with everything. We were supposed to talk on Friday, but we delayed it because Mercury in Sagittarius was squaring Neptune. So that was like something came up and our schedules delayed it. And now today, Mercury is at the last degree of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is like philosophies, belief systems. I really feel like that's our angels, spirit guides. That's Sagittarius. And your spirit guides, Mercury, I mean Sagittarius, Mercury that communicates, they talk to you, and you use that to share that wisdom with your audience. And I just love that we're talking on this day. And I want to talk to you about like how did your spirit guides make themselves known to you? Like, how can you help people? How do you know what's from them and what's just your imagination or your fears? This is what I'm struggling with right now, that kind of stuff. So if we want to start talking about that kind of stuff, that would be great.
Sure. I mean, I think this is what we all struggle with, right? I mean, certainly. And I would just say briefly, you know, what's really funny to me is that I could see ghosts, right? Like from a child, I could see ghosts. It was no prize, right? Like I didn't think this was anything anybody wanted because I was just told by my family, you're not seeing anything, right? So I knew from a very early age that I could do that. I just didn't think it was very special. The funny thing about it, and even to this day, my website is Susan Lynn Medium, because mediums talk to dead people, right? Mediums see ghosts. Again, I didn't think this was any prize. I'm just sorry I did it. But I didn't realize even when I started my business, when I converted myself, when the spirit guides finally kicked me out of my previous profession as a professional photographer, I didn't realize I was psychic.
Oh, your sound went out. Can you hear me? Okay, it's back.
It's not. So I spent, and I'm like, really was kind of mad at my spirit guides because I was like, look, y'all, I could see ghosts, but this whole time I was hella psychic and you didn't tell me. You know what I mean? Like that was the thing. Like, I really would have really loved being psychic my whole life, and I didn't know I was. So you're like, well, Susan, how could you know you weren't psychic? And how do you know you are now? Well, again, I have lots of videos about this, and they're all free, and they're all on YouTube, and they're all in my playlist called Wow Wisdom on Wednesdays. Lots of videos how to connect with your spirit guides. It's all free, guys. So first of all, what I'm going to tell you guys is that your spirit guides are working with you all the time. And there's a couple of things happening here. First of all, if they're trying to guide you to do your soul path, like for you to become an astrologer, right? You have a story too. You were, you know, a business person in the corporate world, and, you know, your spirit guides are like, yeah, that's good, but time is up, girlfriend. You're supposed to be over here. Like, you know, they're like, go over to this other path. And as humans, we're like, no. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
It makes no sense. Why are you telling me to do this?
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to be a weirdo psychic medium, or I'm not, you know, astrology is something I love, but I don't know that I can make a living, or, you know, so we don't trust, right? I mean, that's normal. This is completely normal. Although maybe I take it to another degree because I tend to just outright argue with my spirit guides. Not at all something I suggest you do. But it happens because I know when they're guiding me, and you guys don't, and it's in their best interest. It's in their best interest for you not to know, because if you knew that they were guiding you to become a professional astrologer, your brain would click in and say, can I pay my bills? Wait a minute. What about this job? What about this career? Right? And guess what? You're not doing the thing. You're arguing, basically. I mean, you're questioning. You're questioning, and you're not doing the thing. So they don't want you to know. They want you to just do it. They want you to maybe get, I don't know what your situation was, but like maybe get laid off, or maybe your work was so untenable. Whatever the thing is, they'll help you move, you know, to the right direction. So that's one thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can also have spirit guides that are helpers. Like right now, apparently, I don't realize, I mean, I guess I did ask, I don't know, but I guess I was kind of upset about a little bit of weight that I gained. over Thanksgiving and Christmas. So today I'm like chopping up celery, and I'm like, I know this is not me because I don't eat celery, and I sure as heck am not gonna. If I'm gonna eat it, I might get a jar of peanut butter. But I'm chopping up celery to make this celery salad, and I'm like, this ain't me. I'm being guided, right? When you just need to pay attention. Like you say things like, I don't know why, but I put my resume in for this transfer. I don't know why I did it. Don't ask me why. How many times do we say, don't ask me why? But honey, I got a new job. You know what I mean? I didn't tell you because I didn't think I was going to get it. You know what I mean? Like this is guidance, right? Which happens all the time. We just are not trained to recognize it. And the last thing I'll say is, some people have prophetic dreams. Some people, hear things, or, it's kind of hard to argue with that, right? Like if your loved one comes to you in a dream and it's so real, like it doesn't happen very often, but rarely we have a dream where it's so real, like they're with you and you're feeling all the feels, and that's a visitation. That's not a dream. That is a real visitation. Those things are hard to deny. Like you cannot deny that you heard your name called and nobody was in the house. You cannot deny that you heard footsteps and no one was in the house, right? But the one thing, and you're very much like this, and I know I'm like this, and I attract people who are like this. So that's why I call my channel the channel of Overthinkers.
Absolutely.
Because we're all, if you're attracted to me, you're already a cynic and you're an overthinker. I'm just going to tell you, right? There's no unicorns. There's no la, la, la. None of that's going on my channel, right? It's like, what the heck is going on? So that would be claircognizance. That would be psychic thinking. And it's the worst one because your psychic thoughts, you think are yours. And then you will be the kind of person who more often than not is right about things. Now, I'm not saying you go around saying you're right about everything, but people think you're very grounded and they think you got your stuff together, and you think you're got your stuff together, and you think you're grounded, and you're mostly right. You're like, I'm not trying to say something, but I'm just trying to say that I'm pretty sure I know that, honey, that ain't you. You're not as smart as you think you are. That's freaking psychic information coming you through your own thoughts, but you don't recognize it. So go back to the celery. When you're doing something and you're like, this is not me. Like another example is you're sitting on the couch, the weather's bad outside, probably it is actually where you are, and you get this idea to go for a walk. And what happens is, how you know it's guided is you'll get up off the couch and you'll be putting on your coat before you really realize. And perhaps your spouse or even yourself, and you're like, what am I doing? And you're like, well, I guess I'm going for a walk. Guidance is you're already doing something before you catch on that you're doing it. That wasn't you. You didn't want to get off of that couch. You didn't want to go outside and take that walk, but you needed to take that walk for your mental health, your physical health, whatever the reason it is. And sometimes if we have like dogs or kids, we say, oh, I did it because the kid needed to go out. But probably that was your spirit guides.
Absolutely. When my grandmother died, she came to me in a dream. I was not scared. My fan in my bedroom turned on in the middle of the night, and I felt like, she came to tell me everything was going to be okay. Yeah.
Well, let me just tell you something. Somebody's saying that my voice is different. Well, that's because I'm on my phone. So it's everything is different, you guys. But let me tell you something too, because when things like that happen, Celeste, and you go, oh, I'm so glad my grandmother came to visit me. That was so sweet, right? But we don't stop to think, hey, wait a minute. I just had a connection to someone who's not on this physical plane anymore. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. And it means that you have the ability to have a connection to someone who's not on this physical plane anymore. And sometimes they do it just so that they can prove to you that you've got the ability, right? Like people say, well, why did my fan turn on? Well, they're saying hi, they're saying I love you, but there's always the spirit is very effective. Like they don't waste energy. If they've got a good connection with a human, they're going to put a lot into it. So that's another message is Celeste, you have the ability to connect to people on the other side.
Wow. I've been told that. I'm a medium as
Your
well, but I think,
spirit guides just told you, so did your grandmother, and so did I.
wow. And that was like 20 years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah. Hmm. Ah, okay. What about when you dream of a living person? Is that more coming from you or your subconscious? Kylie wants to know.
Kylie, I have experience with this. So okay, I'm just going to say this really quickly. So I had this thing where an ex came into my consciousness, like dreaming, like I was just thinking about them. And I was like, oh, no, no. I mean, I should have called you and been like, what's my astrology? Because, the astrology. The astrology brings them exes back. I'm like, where get out my, so, but it turned out that my ex actually had a really serious health event that
Oh.
was maybe even like life threatening. And that's why they were in my energy. Okay.
Oh.
So for you, Kylie, it could be that the ex is thinking about you because thoughts are energy, you guys. Thoughts. So when you think bad things about yourself, you're really doing yourself a disservice, right? So the ex could be thinking about you, reminiscing again, check with an astrologer. But also the ex could have been going through some kind of travail, problem, medical issue. But that's kind of what it is. They're sending you an energetic email or an energetic text.
Mm, absolutely. Absolutely. I get that. Hmm. Yeah, great. Ah.
Kylie, if this is a scoundrel, you're not supposed to go back to them. I'm not trying to
Oh,
co-sign
I don't
anything
know.
here.
Did she say ex or did
Kylie's
she
like,
say
oh, okay.
person?
Wait a
It might
minute.
not be her ex.
Yeah, right.
She
It
doesn't
might not
say
be.
ex. She just says a living person.
Yeah,
So it might not
energetic
be,
email. Yes, it's an energetic email. It really is.
yeah, the person. I mean, how many times you're thinking about someone and then you get a text and they're like, hey, let's go have lunch or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. So that happens
It
as well.
works. It's a thing.
Yes. And yeah. So, but how do you discern? Like sometimes, like especially when we get into, and a big thing that's happening on Saturday is the North Node is moving into the sign of Pisces, which really amplifies the psychic energy.
Oh, thanks for telling me.
And then the South Node moves into Virgo. So this last time this happened was about 18 and a bit years ago. I can pull up the exact dates, but the nodes move backward through the zodiac and they stay in a sign for 18 months. And the North Node amplifies things and the South Node drains things. So Virgo, which is like the real specifics or the details, is kind of being drained.
Health?
And
Could Virgo also be health?
yeah, yes, we're going to be health issues are coming up. Yeah.
Okay, that's
What
important to
we
know.
know with like bird flu and
Yeah,
whatever
I
else.
mean that, and just spring in general, right? Where we all get the colds, and so everybody pay attention to that, right? Like it's interesting because my guides, this just now, I drank a cup of like immunity tea for no reason. My guides are like, you need to make this, and sometimes I don't argue. But anyway, okay, so the South Node is also, as far as I know, like where we came from, and then the North Node is where we're going. So we're going into Pisces. I mean, energetically speaking, right?
Yeah.
Energetically, and you're ascribing this particular energy of Pisces to psychic abilities or connections to across the veil, as it were, if you want to use that terminology.
Yeah. It's also belief systems like religion. It can also be immune system weakness problems.
Woo!
Pisces rules homelessness. It also rules things like compassion and yeah, and caring for those, charity.
And
Like
that's
it has
Virgo too. But that's Virgo too. So I
Mhm.
don't understand. Like, can you help me understand? Because there's two overlapping things, which is one is health
Mhm.
and one is service, compassion. What is it? Or are the nodes? Are they going in
The
reverse?
nodes are always 180 degrees apart from each other. The north node is what's being amplified. The south node has a bit of a drain, but it's what we're collectively, energetically focused on during the time period. And so we can think about, I call this the axis of well-being, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury and Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. So you can think about Mercury as the planet of communication, thought processes, also commerce, and we can think about transportation with Mercury. Those are some symbologies of Mercury. Jupiter is the big picture, and like Mercury's the details, Jupiter's the big picture. So it's like this balancing act that we have to do as a collective about these two things. Now, they're also related to like Virgo with the physical. It has to do with service, has to do with physical health. We can think about crops and farmlands. We can think about Virgo is the priestess energy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the maiden is the glyph in the sky that looks like Virgo. And it's actually, the mutable signs are what we call double-bodied, meaning there can be something dual of the nature to them. You can think about Pisces as two fish swimming in opposite directions. Gemini is mutable air. That's the twins. Pisces is mutable water. That's the fish. Sagittarius is mutable fire. That's the archer, and the half man, half horse. And Virgo is mutable earth, and she's holding her like staff. Yeah, but there's something about, we're going to be on this. I wrote, the thing I first wrote about moving here is question everything, believe nothing.
I heard you say that. Because, you know, I got duplicitous. When you were talking, I got duplicitous, which is, you know, like speaking out of both sides of your mouth or something. Yikes. Can I ask you a question? Like, how long do we have to endure this? This is how I deal with astrology.
It's 18 months.
Good Lord, girl. You need to, like, have some kind of, like, classes to help us endure this stuff. Like, you know, like come to Celeste's Astrology Air Raid Shelter, where she will help you understand. Kylie's excited. Kylie's like, bring it on. I love that for you, Kylie. Please tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Yes. So
I think just give it.
Pisces is beautiful energy. It rules music. We can think about meditation. You can think about like where we go. Like a monastery is like a Pisces place, where we go to have a respite from the world. But one of the problems or challenges is there's no boundaries. You can think about how it's mutable water. It just spreads everywhere, and water needs a container to kind of hold it. And Saturn right now is in Pisces, but so is Neptune. So the container Saturn and the boundaryless Neptune are coming together and merging as one.
I don't know how this is going to work. I'm panicking. I think you're right. Like, let's get an air raid shelter.
So we have to protect our energy in new ways. We have to make sure as much as we can we stay grounded, drink our tea or whatever it is we do, our vitamins, our teas, getting enough rest or whatever to keep our immune systems. There's something about Pisces being associated with physical weakness. It's the last side of the zodiac. And I'm just getting this image of like phlegm. So yeah, we got to do everything we can.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So the container is your body.
Gemini rules the lungs, and that's where Jupiter is right now. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, we all need to be doing the immune thing. We all need to be taking care of our immunity, and getting run down and getting too tired or getting, you know, overly stressed
is a Virgo shadow. So with the South Node going into Virgo, overworking, trying to make every little thing perfect, dot every I, and cross every T is not the way we want to go. We want to have some faith we've done enough, that intuition and trust that for whatever reason this is what needs to what needs to occur. So this is where we're moving in on Saturday, but it feels oceanic. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And the switch of the nodes is really, really, really big. And we're having so many big things happen this weekend. I wanted to talk to you about that as well and see like how you're seeing this energy showing up for you, because I had like this whole, and this is like the astrology, the gift of astrology is it helps you understand what's going on right now. So right now, before Saturday, I hope people stay with me, the South Node is in Libra. Libra is an air sign. Air signs are humane. So they want to communicate and connect. But the South Node's there. And the North Node's in Aries, which can be um, courageous, pioneering, but also impulsive and rude. And I keep telling myself, my conscious mind keeps saying, Celeste, shut up. Stop saying stuff. Stop writing all this crap you're writing on threads. And then the Aries energy is like, no, this is, I have to share. I have 5 planets in the 11th house of computing.
I must.
And so I'm having this internal struggle with myself. And today I had like this existential crisis because I think something big is coming.
I do too. I do too.
I've been like, the way my psychic stuff works, it comes in songs and images and weird stuff, and then I piece things together, and then I write. Like when I just start writing, stuff comes out, and it comes out in a riddle, and I don't necessarily know what the riddle means, and sometimes I think it means X and it actually means Y.
Oh my
so
God.
But
girl, let me just tell you, get an upgrade. Get your spirit guides upgrade. Pay the extra money, get out of these riddles, and tell them you got to be plain English with me. Okay.
Okay,
I think you're a riddle person. I think this matches your brain because you like riddles and you like, so I don't know that about you. I'm just reading your energy, right? So they're just talking in your language. Like if they did that to me, I would just walk out of the room. I would just
as a kid, I loved word problems. If train X gets to the city and train
that's why they're giving it to you in a riddle, girl.
I love
I'm telling you, if they did that to me, I'd be like, I think I need some chocolate. I'll be back in a minute. I really would go eat chocolate. I really would. I'd be like, talk to the hand. But that's why they talk to you in ways that you understand, right? Like for me, they do talk in songs. One of the songs I kept hearing is basically a line is everything is going to be okay, right? And so, listen, you guys, if you do get a song stuck in your head and you haven't heard it like yesterday, or there's no reason for it to be stuck in your head, that is a message. It's just like Celeste said, these messages come in, write them down so that then you can figure it out. Because if you don't write it down, your brain is going to say, that didn't make, like for Widows, like what I just, that didn't make, that wasn't for me. I don't understand. Your brain will forget it. So write it down so that you can go back later. You can put it in your notes in your phone, whatever. And you can like on it. Look, listen to this. This is crazy, right? This is crazy. This is breaking news. I haven't talked about this in the video because it comes in the middle of the night and I put it in my phone and then I do other things. Robin Williams, I don't know why, but he's decided to visit me with messages. And right. I mean, I think because, I was, a kid when Mork and Mindy, and so I think that kind of imprinted on my brain. I'm not a person like you who watches a lot of media or I'm just not that person. But here's Robin Williams. He keeps coming into my consciousness and I can't tell you because it's on my phone, which I'm talking into right now. But he was talking about world politics. And I'm like thinking, was he into politics? Because I didn't really think that he was. But anyway, he's talking about Poland. He's talking about, just now I heard Warsaw. So there are some things.
Convention.
There are some things kind of percolating in the universe. And for people like me and you that are empathic, that feel things, and probably you guys watching, you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't feel good, like something's gonna happen, like there's a cloud, right, hanging over your head. I'll tell you guys what to do. Is first thing is to say, okay, recognize there's a cloud. Second of all, is this mine? Am I okay? Am I physically okay? Yes. Okay. Is my room okay? Is my family? Go through the physical things. And then once those all check out, it's not your cloud. Just push it on like a cloud goes through the sky. Just push it on by because it's not yours. It will depress you. It'll make you sad for no reason. Say a prayer. I don't know who this cloud is for. May they have mercy and peace, but it's not my cloud, and let it go.
Well, it depends who the cloud is for, whether they should have mercy and peace. If the cloud's for, never mind.
Well, I'm channeling. I'm not allowed to say that right now. I get, I joke about being in detention, but seriously, seriously, like there was a whole period of time when I asked every day if a certain person was going to die. They finally said, "Are you okay?" Like, yes, I'm okay. You won't answer me. They're like, we don't think you're okay.
Well, what's so funny is you said Mork and Mindy, because Robin Williams was famous for so many things. And when Mars went retrograde on December 6th, it went retrograde in the sign of Leo, which is the sign of the performer and the entertainer. And is it the Mercury? Something about it is connected with these old TV shows where, like, Vivek Ramaswamy brought up Saved by the Bell, which I think we're going to be Saved by the Bell, and Saved by the Bell and Urkel. What was the name of that show Urkel was in? Can someone put it in the comments? What was the name of that TV show? So there's something about TV shows.
What is that about? So would that be South Node going back to our childhood or where we came from? Would that be connected to the
North Node in Aries. The North Node in Aries rules. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and it has associations with childhood. Yes.
Okay. So there's always I read the energy, she reads the stars.
That's why it's sitcoms. It's laughter. Like Aries energy can be joyful, youthful, fun. Mercury's been in Sagittarius, which is the comedian energy. Sagittarius is a storyteller. It's a comedian. All sorts of things. Like Jupiter is expansive and it's in Gemini. Gemini rules children. Pisces. Jupiter is in the sky squaring Saturn and Pisces. Pisces has association with images and like TV and film and all these theater.
Yes.
So this is why Mars retrograde in Leo. Retrogrades, we go to the past. So we're thinking about the past performers on TV, and we're not thinking about dramas. We're thinking about comedies with Mercury and Sagittarius. This is the last day Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius. But because of the retrograde, it's been in Sagittarius since November, early November. It was there at the election. So yes, this is all connected. This is why. And I did a post on Threads a week or so ago, or a couple days ago, where it just came through. I channeled all these TV shows from the 70s.
My God.
And some of my favorites. Yeah, that's what's going on. The 70s and 80s. Yeah. So Vivek was talking about the 90s. Maybe he's young, he must be younger. But when it came through me, like I was thinking the Jeffersons.
No, why did right. Like that's so why did you come up with Urkel? Everybody said it's Family Matters or something.
Family Matters.
Yeah.
Because Vivek said something about, basically he said American culture is creating a bunch of dummies that are too, they don't have the intelligence, the skills, the drive, the this, the that, in order to
spoiled. We're too spoiled.
Yeah, in the tech world, that's why we need these H-1B visas, which is a Mercury and Sagittarius thing. Paperwork, Mercury rules paperwork of all kinds. Sagittarius overseas, foreign lands. So that whole thing that's what that came up about. But it's interesting. You said Robin Williams is coming to you, and you said Mork and Mindy. You didn't say Good Morning Vietnam or.
No, it's Mork and Mindy. It's 100% Mork and Mindy for me. And I
Mhm.
don't, and that's what I was saying. How interesting, right? That the beginning of his career, my childhood, right? So because I'm a Virgo, I'm analytical, and you're analytical too.
I'm a
Like
South
I
Node
want
is in
to,
Virgo.
I want to figure out, like, well, why is Vivek, and why are all of us, besides the stars? We know the stars are, what I would say is the stars are filtering or funneling the energy through that sort of filtration. Okay, but the energy is still coming in. The energy has to come in to be filtrated through those nodes and through those astrological things. So where is the energy coming from? What is coming our way, right? That's the fascinating thing.
Mm-hmm. And why is
Ooh.
it so loud right now? It's because of the retrograde. So what retrogrades do is they kind of turn things inside out. They pull the tape back so that we can see underneath. And there's a full moon on Monday, which is so intense. And it's the moon is moving to Mars in
Oh,
Cancer. So I mean, this full moon is
right.
it's a little it's a little worrisome. And I think I know what's coming up, but anyway, what's happening as well is we're having what's called a lunar standstill. It's at peak right now, and what the lunar standstill means is that it has to do it's an astronomical thing, but the moon rules the people. So I'm thinking, what are we all standing still and looking at? And all the planets, like Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn, are visible in the sky at night, which is not, it's not ordinary
That's not
to have so many.
typical.
It's not typical. It's like at a peak, I think on the 19th. Like I'm not sure the date.
Ooh,
There's
the
a
19th. That
yeah.
day, mark that day on your calendars, because I don't know if it's going to manifest, but the energy suggests
Yes.
something big.
Yeah. So I feel like the gods are watching. God, the gods, whatever you want to call it, the higher source, watching. And the North Node is at 0 degrees of Aries. So it's a global reset. This happens
Yes.
every 18 and a half years or
Wow.
so. The zeros of the cardinal signs, that's Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, are world points where events have a big, like a big nature. And it's also the thing about the nodes moving backwards, they move from the first degree to the last. So it's like we fall off a cliff in a way, energetically, is how I'm seeing this shift.
See, that all makes sense. See, I don't know the astrology, although I love astrology, but I know the energy. And
Mm.
in my whatever I get energetically, it always matches the astrology. And that's what I've been telling people. It's almost like there's a standstill. Like we're just all shut down. Everything stops for some period of time. Maybe it's a day, maybe it's 3 days. My last political video that I did, I talked about that feeling that we had around 9/11 when we didn't know, what everything was grounded, where we all went to our homes.
I got planes grounded. I keep getting
Yes, but
planes
planes
grounded.
grounded. But also, and I think planes are ruled by
Planes are ruled by
Capricorn?
Uranus.
Uranus. Okay.
Uranus rules, and Aquarius is about the Uranus and aviation, Mercury travel.
Right.
Jupiter also has associations with planes because of the long distance travel.
Right.
And Jupiter is squaring Saturn, so slowing the planes down. Now it's releasing, but it perfected at Christmas. But
There's other things. There's other things just building right now, and this is where I think if you're an empath, and people say I don't think I am, but if you feel nervous or restless or uneasy, you're an empath, because you're picking up on this restless energy that's just out there, a lot of it, through the astrology. The other energy was the pandemic. Like, remember in the very beginning of the pandemic, like we were all like just grounded. We didn't know, right? We didn't know what this was, or those two events feel like we could have another event like that where we don't know what's going on, but we're just going to stay put for some period of time while we figure out what is the issue. And it feels like nationwide or worldwide even.
And it's interesting. Friday's word of the day for my podcast, the Celestial Insights podcast, wherever you listen, it's everywhere. The word of the day is joyous. And
nice.
And this I wrote down before we knew what was happening on Friday. And when in my podcast I said some people will be celebrating, but others will be disappointed because the moon will meet Jupiter. Jupiter's celebratory, it's optimistic, and it's in Gemini. Gemini rules the people. It's air, and they connect, and then it squares Saturn. And Saturn slows everything down, but Saturn can also be disappointing or failure or something like that. So
restriction,
right? Boundaries, limitations.
Not as far as you thought you were going to go, or differently than you thought it was going to be. Yes.
And let me tell you this. This is since the new moon, I've been having I'm feeling the energy so intensely that, and this was before the 2 terrorist attacks, my whole body was shaking.
Yes.
Like I think it was the 30th or New Year's Eve.
Yes.
And I've had this kind of happen again. And I realized I connected the dots. So on Sunday, I got the message that I wrote down, don't go to the beaches. And I'm supposed to go into San Francisco for someone's birthday on Saturday. And I had to call them and say, I'm not going. I think I don't know if I'm just picking up something else.
Could be earthquake. Could be water out of its boundary. Tsunami.
That's what I thought. I wrote down tsunami. But because Mars retrograde is trine Neptune on Sunday. And then on Monday, the sun is trine Uranus, which is earthquake. But the tsunami comes before the earthquake, which makes me think it's not a literal earthquake. I think it's an energetic earthquake. It could be a little earthquake. I mean, there was an earthquake in Tibet today.
Yes, I know.
But and my guys have been, and that's what I told them. I said, I don't know if it's a tsunami. I don't know if it's an earthquake. I don't know if it's a terrorist thing, because the JP Morgan healthcare conference, where all the CEOs of healthcare corporations and
is it in San Francisco?
It's in San Francisco next week. So they're coming in probably Friday.
No. Yeah.
I'm not going to San Francisco.
Right. And I want to say this is the thing, right? I think you're smart in doing this. It's not like you have to go, but what if you were working for a company and you had to be in San Francisco, right? So I want to give people tips, because sometimes you just can't cancel it. If you can, do. If you can't, and somebody said, what do we do? How do we ground ourselves? If I had to go into San Francisco, what I would do is I would arrive. Now, first of all, I would tune into my intuition. Now, understand that your intuition is buried under all of this empathic energy that you're getting, right? Your empathic, worry, all these warnings are going on. That's really going to be bigger than what's the true thing that's happening. Okay. Because you're clicked into the energy. Plus you're an analytical person. So you are putting 2 and 2 together. Yeah. These people are coming into San Francisco. If you had to go, I would say, I'm trusting that I'm being guided for my highest good. And I'm trusting that whatever I decide to do, it's going to keep me safe. right? I'm trusting that I am protected and loved and I am safe. And it requires trust and it requires faith, right? This thing that we don't really have much of these days. But like if you're an empath, grounding, look up how to ground your energy. You can do it 1,000 different ways. But I've never, do you have a grounding mat, Celeste? Do you use grounding mats
No,
or anything?
maybe I need to get
I'm
one.
starting to think I've resisted it a little bit, but I think my
That's
guides were talking to me
perfect
this
for
morning.
the North Node in
Yes,
Pisces.
if
And
you have the extra bucks. I don't know how expensive they are, but like if you can't get a grounding mat, you can go get like a $4 stone. You know what I mean? Like you can get a grounding stone on Amazon or at the local
here's Tiger
shop.
Eye.
Tiger's
Okay.
Eye is wonderful. Hematite, people can put them in, you can Google grounding stones. And just, put it in your hand, put it on your heart, do whatever feels good. If you got to go somewhere, you got to be busy this weekend, maybe you take a grounding stone with you. That's a really good point. When I had one of my big spiritual awakenings, when it really just, when the guides are like, we are so tired of you, we are going to make you do this because everybody you meet, you're going to be able to read. It's going to be totally uncomfortable. Well, I was in my crown chakra. I was really like not grounded. I was flighty and not able to concentrate. I was kind of like high as a kite, really. And my friend was like, you got to put this on. And she gave me a ring that had a grounding stone in it. It wasn't an expensive ring, probably $50, whatever. I wore that ring every day for months. I would try to take it off and I'd be like, I'm not taking that off. Now today you'll notice, and almost in 99% of my videos, I wear this ring, which is an amethyst.
Okay.
Nature's tranquilizer. Okay. Get you some amethyst, wear it on your chest. It's not like you're going to put this stuff on and you're going to feel, but it does work on a subtle level. You know what I mean? So, but this, like how many of you ladies in the chat wear these in your bra? Hopefully not this big, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know that. Like they load their bra down with all these crystals. I'm like, dang,
I have a couple friends who put crystals in their bras all the time.
I'm not kidding. No, I mean they're loaded down. I'm like, dang, y'all, this is for money and this is for protection. I'm like, okay, no, thank you. I mean, but you do you. Carnelian is good. You can even Google the best stone for your sign, probably your sun sign, right?
I think this is good for Taurus. Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah. And I mean,
whatever it takes.
And I told my friend, I could be totally off. It could be just about me, my personal safety. It could be nothing about that stuff. I think it's about like way bigger than San Francisco, or I think it's, do you want my theory of what I think it is?
I want to know.
Okay.
Absolutely. Of course.
So for everyone, I could be totally, totally wrong, but this is all I've been piecing my riddles together, and I'm wondering if that he is going to be arrested for violations of the Hatch Act with interfering in the ceasefire in Gaza.
What?
Crimes against humanity.
Okay.
That's crazy.
No, there's nothing crazy. I live in crazy land. My middle name should be crazy. I'm a psychic medium. But so I think you're onto something, because I got international incident, right? And I got the international incident, and I've said this on video, so I'm just as crazy as you are. These international incidents would threaten 45 with criminal detainment. So I got the same thing, just not the Hatch Act. And I think that when you do this work, you almost have to pull back and let spirit decide how they're going to manifest that. But yes, I got the same thing. International warrant, I think I said on my video. So it could be that. It could be, but see, the thing is that everybody has free will. So if he gets tipped off, you know what I mean? He might evade. I mean, he's done a great job, right, of evading things, right? So, but it might have, could have supposed to have happened, but free will kind of gummed up the works a little bit. But I'm getting the same thing you are. International incident with him getting some sort of warrant.
Mm, okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And I had this whole big story with myself. I like was philosophical, like am I just being crazy, letting it's all based on my fears, just making up this story that would be the best screenplay in the world for a movie. Is it that or is it reality? And the 29th degree, Mercury's at the 29th degree of Sagittarius, agree of crisis and decay. And I'm having this existential crisis about are these really all the, and every time I start to doubt my intuitive skills, my guides show me something where I was
Right.
spot on,
Right.
or they
I
take me
wouldn't doubt
back
it.
and then tomorrow Mercury rules into Capricorn, which is an earth sign, which is practical, grounded, and at 0 degrees of Capricorn's a world point, and it's squaring the north node and the south node. So the nodes are representative of groups as well. So the north node in Aries, a group, and Aries is cardinal initiating energy, like a group ready to take action.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
You,
Maybe I'm
it could
just
be it could be a Luigi kind of thing. It could be that. It could be
oh,
that. It could be a group of people. It could be like a protest, like a
protest.
big protest that's happening, because Capricorn would also be like the, suits, the government or the leaders,
Mm-hmm.
business people. So that, and then like you're saying, they're all these healthcare people are converging. I mean, I would have done the same thing, but I would just also say we humans have to do a little bit better job of dealing with this energy, because as we go forward, we're going to have better access, to, like you said, Pisces. How's this going to manifest? Well, it's going to manifest because we're going to have more access to our psychic abilities, more access to feeling all of that energy. And we need to do a better job of not letting it be a cloud, because like I'll say, like last year with all this stuff with the election, and just the whole thing with Biden stepping down, in the middle of that, I'm planning a big event. And I'm like, no. I'm like telling my spirit guides, no, 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 no. And they're like, you're going to do it. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, you're going to do it. And I'm like, and they're like, it's going to be fine. I'm like, it's not going to be fine. Who would come to an event in the middle of this? And it was fine. So we have to also understand that even though we feel dark or heavy or foreboding, you can still put that resume in. You can still start that new project. It's harder, but don't let it keep you from living your life. Don't let it keep you from being a bigger, better version of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Absolutely. So yeah, so that's what, so I think the energy is not, I think it's something like that, because the north
It's
node,
building.
yes, the south node is on the midheaven of the United States. So, and the south node is a drain, and it's in Libra, it's talking, it's like
Libra,
spitting things out.
Kamala Harris, justice.
Justice of Libra,
And,
justice,
and
legal
yes,
consequences, balance,
it won't stand.
harmony,
I hear it won't stand. This will not stand.
harmony. It's like, oh, today, the day 29 Sagittarius, and I said, the gambler, talking about all the things you're going to do when you get your new job that you haven't gotten your new job yet. And your employer's hearing you talk about all the things you got to do. And the employer's like, I don't know if I want all these things to happen.
Like,
Like military intervention in Greenland?
God, can you believe
That's
it? And they
today.
traveled there. They literally flew to Greenland. I don't know what is happening. Why?
Who flew to Greenland?
His kids, people, some of his cronies, I think, actually flew to Greenland.
Okay, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I think we're watching a divine comedy. And
Yes.
in my like this is what I got. This is a message I got. It could be totally off. So I just want people, I mean, I'm not giving up hope. I am going to
I'm
be
not
a
here.
Pollyanna until
The 20th.
and
That's
yes,
me.
until 12:15.
Yeah, that's me.
That's it. I am going to be a Pollyanna until then. So we're watching a divine comedy, and what we think we're seeing is not exactly what we're really seeing, and that a lot of stuff went on in December. Part of what went on in December was all these CEOs and stuff went to go visit the king. And the king gave them marching orders. We heard what Mark Zuckerberg's were today about how everything's going to change on Meta. And there's no fact checking. There's no this. There's no that. Uh, I think somebody's playing check. Someone's playing chess and someone's playing tic tac toe. And guess who's who?
Love that. Nice.
So
I agree
we'll
with you.
see.
I agree with you. And let's talk about Biden being a Scorpio, right? Because Biden, like, I go back and forth about Biden. Like, the Susan part of my combination here is like, he should be in the public. He probably should, to be honest with you. We got drones, we got fog, we got stuff going on. And he's like, everything is fine, people. Let me give some medals out. Let me sign in this increase in Social Security. Let me, but behind the scenes, the Scorpio, behind the
He's
scenes
got a
in the
12th
dark.
house sun. His sun is in his 12th house. He does things behind the scenes. Strategic, really thought out, really now sometimes he has a God complex. I think both of them have a God complex. They both have their suns trine Jupiter. But yeah,
But
I think
to run for president, you got to have some ego.
yeah.
You really got to have some ego.
Yeah.
I just when I go into Biden's energy lately, he says I have a shot in the dark. I have one shot in the dark. So, but the thing that I think that you're picking up too is, so you got Biden behind the scenes, really trying to make something happen. But then what I kept getting was all these other things were happening in the public sphere that was actually he didn't want to happen, because he just wants to do it and have it done and no fingerprints, and it's you know what I mean? So like all these leaks and all of now everybody's saying, oh, the election was off. That doesn't help him, because it just fogs everything up. And I think that, I don't know if he can be behind this, but I think that we're going to have some event, some world event. Maybe NATO declares war, Article 3, and Biden says, I can't step down. I mean, we're at war. It would not be responsible for me to step down. So he just stays on until April or March, which is what I've always seen even 6 months ago. I just didn't know why.
Yeah, I've gotten that the inauguration is delayed till April or something like
You
that.
too, huh? Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. But that's and this is like Scorpio energy. We're getting a master class in the different signs. How Scorpio acts behind the scenes. Occasionally he lets things come out, and he said something about nobody F's with a Biden.
Right.
Something that was caught on hot mic.
Yes. That's not grandpa.
Whereas Leo, a 29-degree Leo rising, the last degree of crisis and decay, with there's Mars there, is like, let me tell y'all, blah, 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 and this is let me put on the show and be the performer and tell you exactly what's coming. And Mars is retrograde, so we're seeing that. Like, I'm really impacted by this. Shut up, Celeste. Celeste won't shut up. Her Mars is I keeps wanting.
I'm so glad you're telling us this, because now we all know what's going on. So I don't understand the Mars. Like, I think it's funny somebody has this picture of like a crab with a knife. You know what I mean? Like, so Mars retrograde
Oh,
in Cancer.
that's the Crab House. I wonder if that's Clarissa or Tara with the crab with the knife. Yeah,
Yes, yes. I'm like, because that's how I was feeling. I'm like, because I'm Cancer rising, and I'm
me
like,
too.
I'm fixing to pull out a knife, and I don't know where I would get that knife.
That's Mars in Cancer. Mars has moved back into Cancer.
Okay.
That's a crab with a knife. Mars rules knives and hammers and
And
like weapons of all kinds. Yeah.
see, and if you get your astrology done, you can find out when in your life you should. Like somebody said to me, don't be touching any knives, no saws, nothing sharp. Like, just be chill for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
That stuff really is helpful. You know what I mean? Astrology is super helpful.
Be careful with fire and knives is what I've been telling people, especially in the kitchen. The Cancer rules the home, family, and foundations. I'm really concerned about LA. That's the place I'm concerned about. They've
Really?
got 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Right
So
now. Yes, it's bad.
anyone living there, and we're moving towards this full moon, you might want to just pay close attention to what is going on. These
Yes.
winds are not the Santa Anas. There's something more.
Yes.
Mercury and Sagittarius at the last degree. There's a fire somewhere in LA already. And the winds can like just carry it. So maybe like think about, what if you have to evacuate, and do not wait till the last.
You need to have a go bag. You need to have your wallet on you all the time. You need to have your pets ready. You need to have a go bag. Like this, I agree with you. I saw this posted on Threads, and it was a news site that one of the new news sites that's kind of independent. And somebody said, "You're just trying to scare us." And I thought, no, they're not.
No, they're not. Mars is retrograde in Cancer. Cancer rules the home. Mars rules fire, and it's moving towards Neptune and Pisces. That symbolically can just be a spread of something. Now, Pisces is a water sign, so it doesn't mean.
Somebody says, Jai Smith says, oh, it's intense on the beaches. There's your beach. You just said 10 minutes ago, I'm worried about the beaches. Fire on the beaches? I mean, yeah, none of this is normal. Like, obviously, right? Yeah. Our weather's not normal. Nothing is normal. So please be extra, extra careful.
Yes, yeah. So really, yeah, absolutely.
Golly, you guys be careful in LA. I got the same warning. When I heard that news, I thought, this is not going to be good. I mean, really not good. It could be very sudden, explosive. The spirit guides are saying explosive, the way, something can be little and explode into big. Please be careful.
The sun in Capricorn rules structures. On Monday, which is the full moon, it's trine Uranus in Taurus, retrograde. Uranus, that's very explosive energy, but it's a trine. Now, what trines do, like, we think of more like really bad things when they're squares, but what trines do is they move all restrictions. So things happen fast. And Venus in Gemini, Venus in Pisces is exalted, is square Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter makes everything bigger. Gemini has to do with the winds. Venus in Pisces is like, it's like a play, like Disneyland, like the winds flipping through Disneyland with all this other stuff. I don't like.
I was just gonna say, can you? I feel like you might be right. It could go through an amusement park like a Disneyland, or it's explosive. All I know is it's explosive. So please be careful if you're driving in that area.
Just be really, really careful. And I thought it was just like a metaphor, like something's going to happen with Disney stock. Because I wrote something down, Disney Massacre. I thought it was like, because sometimes I'll get an image and it's like the worst possible thing, like a tsunami, but it's not about the water. It's not about like a literal tsunami. It's a metaphor.
A
So
metaphor.
so I don't know if, and I think this imagery is also about like Sean Puffy Combs and that stuff and Epstein and, you know, like using the that's going
Hollywood,
to be a big
even
story.
Hollywood, like
Hollywood
the, you know,
abusing
because
children.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, because there's last year's solar eclipse at 8 Aries was conjunct Chiron and Aries, wounding Chiron, children, Aries. Aries has associations with the young, and it's been activated by first quarter moon on Monday. So I don't know what's coming. It's really big, but these are some of the thoughts but the lunar, this full moon on Monday is so intense. It's like, it's all of this stuff. So I don't want to scare people, but this is what, like, it helps me to talk through it and have you see, like you're feeling some of the same
I'm
stuff.
feeling some of the same stuff. That's it. Get a grounding mat,
Yeah.
get a grounding stone, go outside if the weather's not crazy and walk in the grass, hug a tree. And you know, everybody's different. Sometimes I need to touch metal, which is weird. But like I can go out and just touch like a light pole or something. So what you're drawn to is important, right? What do you feel like you need to do? Like taking a bath can be grounding, taking a shower can be grounding.
I love
Um,
baths.
Eating can be grounding. So be careful if you're overeating this weekend because you're trying to make yourself feel safe, right? So if you find yourself eating more, that's an indication too that energetically you don't feel safe and you need grounding. So maybe take a walk outside or do some other grounding meditation on YouTube or something like that.
Thank you for these comments. Like, other people are putting their comments about what. Yeah. Okay. Yes. People are putting in some great comments. Somebody said Biden says you can't warn a narcissist. You have to surprise them.
I thought that was great.
Yeah.
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 And I do see there
Oh,
there
trash
is tsunami
cans can be
energy.
knives. Oh, I don't understand that. Donna says even trash cans can be like knives. Maybe. Oh, you know what? They can have that sharp
Yeah.
surface
If
on
it's
the round. So
metal, if it's metal, right?
be
Like the seam
careful.
isn't done
Like you could
right.
cut yourself. Okay. Ah,
I think she's speaking from experience.
yes,
You know?
yes. Oh, Ashley's saying, wasn't there talk of a volcano? Volcanoes have been going off since December of last year.
Yes. They're still
Yes.
gonna go off. They're
Mm-hmm.
still gonna go off. And I do see tsunami energy around the West Coast, whether it's Oregon or it feels
Mm.
south of Washington, but I don't think it's.
Oh, Ashley says LA wildfires forced evacuations just came out on breaking
Oh
news. So
God,
it's
yeah.
already
People have to
started.
get out. You guys have to get out. I'm telling you right now, grab your bag, grab your pets. If I wasn't evacuated, I would do it anyway. That it's this situation like the Lahaina fire, like you don't know where it's gonna go. It's not gonna make any sense. It's not, it's like the energy suggests that it's like a tornadic. You know what I mean? Like it, you can't predict it. It's not like the storm is moving this way. It's crazy winds. They're gonna call them crazy winds. Like that's a new name.
Mercury's at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. The 29th degree is a degree of crisis
Mm.
and decay. It's in a fire sign of Sagittarius.
Oh,
Sagittarius is mutable, adaptable energy, scatters.
yes. That's it. It's
Tomorrow,
not
Mercury moves to the 0 Capricorn, a world point squaring the North Node in
right.
Aries, fire,
Right.
South Node in Libra, art and culture.
Mhm.
Um, I would, and the outlet is Cancer, home, family, and foundation. Yeah, it's very
It's
worrisome.
very worrisome.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Right
Because
now, that's where I'm feeling
Mhm.
the anxiety. For I have anxiety for you guys. Like I don't live there, right? But so
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't. There's not really anything you can do to prepare, right? Like this is not a normal thing, like it's just completely not going to be normal. Just what you can do is take cover, is get out of the way, grab your pets, grab your wallet, your insurance policy, whatever. It's better for you to be safe than to think, well, it's over there, it's not going to come over here. I know Californians are used to fires, like I'm used to hurricanes, right? But this is not normal. Don't take any
Yeah.
chances.
I would drive. I would leave and drive to just book a hotel and just go somewhere outside of
Oh, Biden
just
is in LA right now. Holy cow.
Biden.
That's what this person is saying. Jai Smith, Biden is in LA.
Mm.
Well, they're going to have to get him out of there then, because
Ah.
that's it's so interesting that he visited New Orleans, right? This is not a man who's thrown in the towel. He is out and about, and so is Kamala. They're out and about saying, this is what we did. This is what we
Mm.
did for the American people. I don't
Mm.
know. He's out,
Mm.
kind of tooting his horn. I mean, on one hand, I think he's doing it so that people can have a contrast, right? This is what a president does. This is what a good
Ah.
president does. This is,
Ah.
but on the other hand, I think he's telling us in a secret way, I'm still in the game. I'm still doing it. So yeah, he was staying in a hotel near your job since yesterday.
Mm.
Riverside, dedication for 2 indigenous tribes.
Oh.
Okay, I just would throw my thing because I'm like fascinated by the whole Chiron thing and United States Chiron return, and the fact that it's our wound. To me, this is why everything is happening. Like I could just say the United States has to fix it. We were founded on killing and, and slavery and all of this stuff. And it's coming back up for us to fix. How interesting that Biden, the head of the United States, is there to pay homage to indigenous tribes and the place is burning. I don't know. To me, that's very,
It's a meta. Yeah, it's very symbolic.
very symbolic. It's just, I don't know. I need a break. We all need breaks. We have to take breaks from this stuff. It's too much. We
Hmm.
really have to take care of ourselves because we're going to be here on the other side of this. And we want to be able to have health and our mind and our peace of mind. And we don't want to come out of this as a trauma survivor any more than we already are, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, whatever we can do to use all of our tools. Yeah. Someone says Patty says there's no coincidences. Yeah. It's like,
I
yeah,
don't
whatever you
think there are. I don't think there's any coincidences. And look, what's going to happen is going to happen. So what we have to do is take care of ourselves, right? Like so I could sit here in Texas
Oh
and be
my God.
so
Yvonne
worried.
says
Drivers
drivers
discharge.
ditch their cars along Sunset Boulevard and flee on foot. There's a fire in Pacific Palisades 12 minutes ago.
I'm
Oh
telling
my.
you, it's gonna pop up here, pop up there. It's not gonna be a line. It's gonna be something. Yeah.
It's already started.
It's
Oh my.
already started. It's very quick. This is probably
Mars
astrology.
retrograde. Like,
And
yeah.
fire, right?
Yeah.
In home, Cancer. Do you guys see how this astrology all helps you understand what's happening? So you can then take steps in your own life to, kind of astrology proof your life, right? Like be very careful of fire in your kitchen. Be
Mm.
careful of burning candles, of, things like that.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, be very careful. Well, let's all send a collective prayer to people who are there in LA and suffering through this scary, scary, scary experience. Let's hope, yeah, as much as the damage is, that it's just stuff and not people. and that there will be energy, there will be rebuilding. Geez, with these insurance companies, one of the things about the North Node in Pisces, Pisces rules homelessness. So, oh my
No.
God, this is just making me so sad for these people. But yeah, let's just send a collective prayer and
And it works. I know we make fun of thoughts and prayers, but it really does work. You can look up, all those studies about people playing nice music to plants. I mean, it works, you guys. So say your prayers, wrap them in light, wrap them in a cocoon of protection, and then you've got to unplug, okay? Like, don't doom scroll all of this. It's not
mhm,
helping you. It's not helping
mhm,
you to know every little thing that's happening. It's dimming your light. And when our light is dim, we don't have as much light to lead the way, to shine for others, right?
mhm.
So you have to just learn to compartmentalize the way doctors do, right? Like if they're upset about their victim, they're not going to be able to help their victim, right? They have to compartmentalize and say, right now, I need to do this job.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so intense. Wow. Well, thank you, Susan. So we went over, so sorry. I hope I didn't keep you
No,
from
it's
anything.
perfectly fine. I'm sorry that we're ending this on a bummer of a note, but hopefully
Well,
it
let's think
was.
about what's something. I mean, there is beauty in the life, no matter what. Uh,
Well,
we're
look,
gonna
right
we're gonna.
now, babies are being born. Puppies and kittens are being born, right? Like people are graduating. People are finding out they won the account. Life goes on. We have to balance this. This is what the guides keep telling me is, yeah, there's terrible things that happen. But on the other side, there's beautiful things happening, and that's our planet. That is our
Mhm,
planet.
mhm. It is. It is. It's a yeah. Well, thank you so much, Susan. We have to
My
do this again. This was such a great conversation. And thank you, everyone, for the comments. They were such great. I didn't read them all because of time, but out loud, but they were so great. So really appreciate it. I will cross post this on my YouTube
oh, nice.
channel. Yeah, yeah, and maybe I'll put throw it in Chat GPT and I mean the script and then Chat GPT and get like a summary so people can also have it
Oh,
able
that's
to
nice.
read. So
Ah.
yes.
Well, thank you
Okay.
so much for having me on.
Yes. Thank you for coming. Yes. And we need to do yeah, we'll do
We'll
it
do it
again.
again. We'll do it
Yeah.
again.
But stay safe, everyone. Sending you love and yeah, if you trust your intuition, like I did, you don't know how hard it was for me to say I'm
Oh,
not going, and I didn't lie. I just was honest. Because I have a whole body feeling that I'm not supposed to go to San Francisco this weekend, and it just may be that's what's going on in LA. It may
right.
be I may be personalizing the
But
impersonal, but I
that's okay.
just
You got to honor it.
mhm.
You got to
So
honor it.
yeah, so yeah, it's better to South Node in Libra. It's better to hurt someone's or irritate. It's better to be. It's considered impolite than not trust your instincts. Ah, okie dokie. Well, you take good care. Love you.
Thank
So
you.
appreciate that. Thank you,
Same here.
everyone, for coming. You take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.